All right, it's Bill here. I'm going to give you my thoughts on two straight games. Goddamn road trips. Colorado game where they win 4-3 in overtime, and then the Utah Mammoth game that they lost 6-1 last night. Here are my thoughts on those games. So first of all, I will give you a little bit of background of what I was dealing with on the Monday game. So I got home from darts and I was able to watch the first period. I thought the Leafs were playing pretty decent against Colorado at the beginning. Easton Cowan got a really greasy goal. You're thinking, here we go. And then I watched the Colorado Avalanche dominate the last 8 minutes of this game. Speed was killing. The Leafs they just can't match up against the speed. It was just a firing gallery on wall. They ended up getting 2 goals. One because Morgan really, like, what is this play? Push the player under our goalie, who's like standing on his head. That's a Carlo move. I saw Carlo do it earlier in the year against Seattle. Now Really's doing this move. That's not good. Power play goal. Right straightly after that goal to make it 2-1. I went to bed thinking there is no chance that the Leafs are going to win this game. And in fact, I think we're going to get smoked 8-2. For me to then wake up in the morning and see the paper and see it's sportsnet.ca paper. What am I thinking about? That's how old I am. There used to be a newspaper I had to look in. Anyways, 4-3 in overtime. I went, what the hell was that? So I was pretty excited, went to work. Just going to get home from work. I'm going to watch the game, and I watched the rest of the game. I thought the Leafs played pretty decently. Now, Colorado were the better team, and Joseph Woll's still on his head, but the Leafs were in the game. They were playing decently. Got a couple breaks. Let's be honest. They got a couple breaks. But, and Bobby McMahon, what was that second goal? See, this is where Bobby McMahon looks like gold. I'm going to get into watching these two games. It looks like gold. And then the next day, he looks like frankincense. Like, he's just, I don't get it. But that was a hell of a second goal. And then Matthews with a rip job. I thought Matthews was good in both games. One of the few players that was good in both games. And trust me, I know I'll probably get if Matthews stunk in the second game. He actually didn't, in my opinion. But there's rock stars out there, right, folks? Yeah, rock stars. Yeah. Anyways, and then the Nylander overtime goal. I thought Nylander was okay in the Colorado game. Obviously, pretty much every player stunk last night. So I watched that game up 4-3. Now I'm all set up to watch the Utah game, ready to go. Oh, my goodness. I was trying to come up with a comparison. So, and considering I watched them like back to back, like it's not like I had like some people had to wait like 18 hours, 19 hours for the next game. I saw it back to back. So I saw the progression very quickly. I was thinking it was like, Godfather 1 and 2 and then Godfather 3. But I'm not going to use that analogy because Godfather 1 and 2 are classics. And let's face fact, the Leafs game against Colorado was good, but it wasn't a classic. So I went to Ghostbusters. Anyone remember Ghostbusters? Ghostbusters 1. Freaking good movie. It wasn't a classic. It's not the best movie you're ever going to see. But it was a damn good, entertaining movie. You had some marshmallow guy, Puff the Marshmallow Man. You had crazy nonsense. You got Rick Moranis running around as a ghoul. I forget the name of the bloody ghost there. Slimer? Was that it? Perfect. So you had Ghostbusters. Good movie. And then they made Ghostbusters 2, which to me is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I just watched this happen. I watched the Colorado-Toronto game. That's Ghostbusters. That's good. And then I watched Ghostbusters 2 in the Utah game. Like, there are moments in this game. I don't want to. What am I going to spend time on? The Leafs didn't show up. Now, Hildeby wasn't. Wall was fantastic in the first game. I didn't think Hildeby was awful. Maybe he should have had the Dylan Guenther second goal. The fourth goal was a little greasy, but by that point, the game was over. More importantly, the Leafs didn't show up. It was like, so, folks, you're not going to believe this, but I thought the fourth line was not the worst thing I've ever seen in the Mammoth game. They were like the actors. They're like Bill Murray and and Dan Aykroyd, they're trying to make Ghostbusters 2 into something. They're trying to act their way out of this stuff, but that script is terrible. I mean, goddamn, there's a Statue of Liberty walking down the street trying to give positive energy for a... What are we doing here? Like, the writing and the creative was terrible. That's what I saw. I saw the effort. Horrible. Horrible in the... So, like, and then you get the narrative, oh, they're back to back, and they're... I'm going to do something for you, folks. So, I guess we don't have to watch the Thursday game, right? Because the Thursday game, they're playing Boitano, or it's the Boitano Bowl. We get Boitano in the next 2 weeks. Two showings of a master class of figure skating for the next week. We get to see that twice in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to do a flight time from Denver to Salt Lake City. What is that flight time? That flight time, it says, is 1 hour and 30 minutes. So the Leafs finished the game in Denver and had to take an hour and a half flight to get to Salt Lake City, and then they got to sleep, and they didn't have to play until, I guess, 7 o'clock their time or 8 o'clock their time. I don't know what Utah is. It mountains? I'm not a geography expert. I don't know. But I'd imagine it's on the same time frame as Colorado. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Okay. So they had an hour and a half flight after the game, and then they had to play an NHL team that was rested. So they didn't have to play on Monday. Okay. So why should we watch the Thursday game? Because the Las Vegas Knights have to play the Los Angeles Kings in Los Angeles on Wednesday, and the Leafs are rested. And so the Leafs should just kick their ass, right? Based on all the excuses I hear from everybody about schedules and how NHL athletes can't deal with a back-to-back situation where they've got to take an hour and a half flight. All right, what's the flight time from Los Angeles to Las Vegas? Now, I heard you can do the drive. It's a 3.5-hour drive. I don't know. It's an hour and 20 minutes. So it's 10 minutes difference. So I'm expecting the Las Vegas Knights to show up on Thursday and put the same performance in and same effort forth as the Leafs did against Utah, because they play back-to-back and they've got an hour and 20-minute flight afterwards. Wouldn't that be your assumption, folks? With all the excuses I heard? Right? So why even watch the Thursday game? The Leafs should win 6-1. Let's get on to Winnipeg. Why play the game? What's the point of playing the game? It's a schedule loss. It's tough to get up. You play Colorado, and it's tough to get ready to play the next game as an athlete in the NHL. It's very challenging to play back-to-back games when you have an hour and a half flight. I mean, it's a crazy flight. I mean, that's like flying from here to friggin' Montreal. It's a crazy flight. Like, that's a long distance. An hour and a half? No one, when you work, does anyone have to travel to work? Don't you have an hour and a half travel? If you're in Toronto, you definitely have an hour and a half travel anywhere you want to go. If I want to go down, I work downtown, so I got an hour. I got like 20 minutes of the GO train, and then I got an hour and 5 on that GO train. So how do I show up to work with any effort? I mean, holy wow. Sleep. I don't get free sleep. I just still watch Leaf game night. How can I perform? The excuses are ridiculous. Now, I heard at least some of the Leafs players say that's ridiculous. But the friggin' media, man, the fans. Oh, yeah, we beat Colorado, so we should be really happy about that. Now, granted, I said before this trip, we get 4 points, I'm happy. We got 2. So we should be between Vegas and Winnipeg, get another 2. Not a bad trip. The point that I'm trying to make here is you got the game that you didn't expect to get. So if you get the game you're not supposed to get, you should go into the Mammoth game thinking, let's roll. That's not what happened. It's not what happened at all. You're Scotty T. Ratner Potts. With a S. Guess what, folks? They're not much different. Are you ready? 0, 0, 0, 0. -1 in the first game. Says he threw a hit. Boo. Crap. And the rock star. The friggin' rock star against Mammoth. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. 3 hits. At least I will try. Like, he did try in the third period. He tried to throw a hit. But what a rock star. I mean, when I think of rock stars, when I think of irreplaceable players, Scotty Lawton comes right to the top of the mind. Top of mind. I mean, this is the best fourth-line center I've ever seen in my life. Folks, you saw Peter Zezel? Scotty Lawton's way better than him, folks. Just listen to everybody. Read the comments. He's the best player ever. Yeah, Johnny T. By the way, here's what pissed me off. The first game. What did I say about Johnny T on a power play? We took him off the power play. PP1. We took him off PP1, and we had success. And what does Strongbow do? Probably because Johnny T said, oh, well, guys, I got paid. I took a hometown discount. I should be on the power play. I mean, this is where I get a lot of my points, on the power play. I should be on the power play. Yeah. You added him back to the power play. How did that go? How'd the power play go? Oh, was that an 0-4? And they kept giving the puck to Johnny T. It's where pucks go to die. A power play with Johnny T on the ice means it's not a 5-on-4, it's a 4-on-4. Why the hell would you put this guy back on PP1? That's just coaching stupidity. Would they take off knives off the line and put... Are you kidding me? You have a power play that started to click, and then you went... Oh, so we started to click when we took Tavares off the PP1, but, we got to worry about Johnny T's feelings, and we put him back on, and it sucks. And we give him the puck every single time. Every time, when you give Johnny T the puck on the boards on a power play, you might as well go fish it from behind your net because it's going to be down there. The guy has no talent with the puck. Put him in front if you're going to do anything with this guy. Don't let him touch a puck in the entry zone. Entering the zone, don't have him anywhere near the puck. That's what I mean. You're playing 4-on-4. Yeah, Johnny T. Report. In both games, Johnny T, for your points, was 0-0-0. But he had a nice eagle on the fourth hole and got a birdie on the 18th, finish off -3. We report from tonight. The Mammoth game, 0-0-0, -4. -4, good game there. In 19 minutes, he didn't throw a hit. Your Cottonelle Carlo report. Boy, Cottonelle Carlo can really handle the speed, folks? Oh, he can handle that. When McKinnon was coming down, buddy, he looked dynamite, didn't he? Why you so soft? Why you so slow? Go back to Boston. Cottonelle Carlo. Took 2 or 3 games. He's back to being Cottonelle Carlo. On the third goal for the Mammoth tonight, he just fell down. So the only hit, he says he got a hit. Like, he took out Haley, by the way, who gave the puck away in the offensive zone. So he's rushing to get back, and the guy makes what move did they just kind of crisscrossed and put it back to Gunther, and I don't know, maybe Carlos spent a little bit of time with Michi Boitano, but man, he got a toe pick on that one. He picked the toe. He was trying to do it wasn't even that thing. He was like the flamingo cross or whatever they call that thing, trying to flamingo cross it across. Like, he caught a toe pick. Down he goes. Haley somehow throws his first hit of the game. Well, I didn't give him credit for it. Well, Carlo got the hit. Because, really, he just falls down. And they're on top of each other. That was a picture, folks. I should have took that picture. I'll frame it up on my wall. Maybe I'll take that picture and put it right beside my dartboard. I used to do that with Jake Muzzin and Johnny T. I get pissed off with darts. Instead of just throwing my darts away wildly, I aim at the faces. I can aim at that picture of Riley on top of Carlo, giving a big hug to him as Gunther scores the goal. Yeah, beauty. And how about that 5th goal? What's Cottonelle Carlo doing there? Oh, who scored the 5th goal there? I think it was Marconi? Marconi or something? Marconi got the first. No, McBain. McCarney got an assist. McBain skates right by Cottonelle Carlo taps it in, and then Cottonelle Carlo gets dummied, falls down. Isn't that awesome? You have one of their guys go to the net. We have a defenseman there. And not only does the guy score a goal, he dummies the defenseman. That's supposed to be tough, mean, and clear the front of the net. Yeah. But in Cottonelle Carlo's defense and in Ray Haley's defense, it's tough to play. It's an hour and 30-minute plane ride. I mean, folks, that's travel. Not nice. And you got to stay in a hotel room? Oh, Jesus. And you probably only get like 8 hours sleep. How? How can you survive? How? How do you expect to win a hockey game and then have an hour and a half drive and then an hour and a half of transportation and then get up and then play a team that's like, fighting for a playoff spot, that's desperate, that got a day's of rest? And how are you supposed to beat them? That's impossible. So, like as I said, I expect the Leafs to completely dominate the Vegas Golden Knights because the same situation is going to happen. The Leafs, do you really have to worry about the Leafs partying in Vegas? Well, you do. There's showgirls there. You have to worry about that. There's, do they have cats there? Do they have rent? Doesn't Britney Spears or Celine Dion do a residency there? So the boys might have a big night out and they're going to go party in Vegas. Yeah. Okay. But they should be resting. They shouldn't be partying because, the points are so important. They should be doing what Utah did. Rest. And then those poor Vegas Golden Knights got to play. So guaranteed win, right, folks? Based on the rationale here. Based on the rationale that all the fans and all the media are giving me. It's the rationale, right? That's not going to happen. You'll see me for the Boitano Cup. I'm definitely watching the Boitano Cup. I think the game starts at 9:30, which is perfect. I should be home from darts right at that time. And trust me, tonight I watched the first two periods. It was, 4-0. I went to bed. And I got up early in the morning and watched the third period. But horrible effort in that game. But again, am I supposed to be mad? You're supposed to be happy? You beat Colorado, you lose to Utah? It's a tough trip. Hour and a half, folks. I hope you guys, you people, or let's say you people. Oops. Everyone, do you travel to work? Hour and a half? It's tough, isn't it? Yeah. How much you get paid? You get paid like $11.5 million. You think you might be able to show up and have a good game the next day after that? Hour and a half trip on a private jet. You'd be okay, folks. Poor Leafs. Cheers.